with Jeff Snyder.
What's the deal with Jake Gyllenhaal and Nightcrawler? The actor gives the best performance of his underrated career in Dan Gilroy's directorial debut, in which he plays Lou Bloom, a ghoulish crime scene photographer with a twisted take on the American dream. Now, I love Donnie Darko, so I've been a Gyllenhaal fan since the early days when Hollywood wasn't quite sure what to do with him, probably because he's more interesting than your average leading man. Both of Gyllenhaal's parents work in the industry, so he grew up around the business. Though for the most part, he has kind of avoided the Hollywood game that tears actors down as quickly as it props them up. He may not have his own superhero franchise yet, but Gyllenhaal will likely have something even better, and that's longevity. For context, real quickly, let me just give you my top 10 Gyllenhaal performances, okay? Number 10, The Good Girl. Number 9, Moonlight Mile. Number 8, Brothers. 7 is Jarhead. 6 is Donnie Darko. That's 5 great movies right there. The top 5, we're talking Prisoners, Zodiac, End of Watch. Number 2 is Brokeback Mountain. And number 1, no joke, is Nightcrawler, which, serves as the latest evidence of Gyllenhaal's immense talent. Jake's Lou Bloom reminds me of Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver. And yes, I know those are big words, I'll describe this fascinating character another way. Imagine Patrick Bateman as played by Rain Man. Gyllenhaal makes you believe that Lou Bloom believes every word he says, even when he's just spouting off nonsense. There's conviction behind every gesture, every line of dialogue. We know that the actor lost a ton of weight for this role. That's evident on the screen. But like Prisoners, he does so much with his eyes. In Prisoners, he's constantly squinting. In Nightcrawler, it's the exact opposite. He hardly ever blinks, His eyes appear to pop out of his skull because his face is so gaunt. And even though we never see Lou sleep, he seems completely wired, as if the thrill of the chase for something that bleeds and thus leads is just hardwired into this character's DNA. I've read numerous awards bloggers write that Nightcrawler isn't an awards movie, it's a genre film, and I am so sick of that narrative. Not every Oscar contender has to be about a British genius. The fact that Benedict Cumberbatch is considered a lock to be nominated for the Imitation Game, while Gyllenhaal is being called a fringe player in the race, it's downright insane to me. Not to make it a competition, which it's not, but Gyllenhaal blows Cumberbatch out of the water. He's absolutely deserving of an Oscar nomination. And not only did he produce Nightcrawler, but he dropped out of Disney's Into the Woods to do the movie. I mean, that's commitment. Can you imagine Lou Bloom playing Prince Charming? Now, that'd be scary. Sure, Nightcrawler is one creepy-ass morbid movie that may not be for everyone, especially the Academy, but it also happens to be the best LA movie since Collateral, as it perfectly encapsulates what this city is all about. It's whatever it takes to succeed attitude, which Lou Bloom takes to extremes. Gilroy's original screenplay also merits awards consideration, as does James Newton Howard's haunting score and Bob Elswit's cinematography. While it should go without saying that Rene Russo is a must for an Oscar nomination, she plays the object of Lou's misplaced affections and nails the character's sad, quiet desperation. Riz Ahmed also plays Lou's protege. He's excellent in the role. He's so good that a friend of mine asked me if he was plucked off the street like the Oscar-nominated star of Captain Phillips, Barkhad Abdi. I had to break it to him. Riz has 2 degrees from Oxford and stars in a new HBO series opposite John Turturro. But let's get back to Jake Gyllenhaal here, who seems to have made it a point over the past decade to work with strong directors who are going to push him to uncomfortable places. It started with Sam Mendes in Jarhead, it continued with Ang Lee in Brokeback Mountain, and he followed that 1-2 punch with the lead in Zodiac, a tale of obsession directed by the ever-demanding David Fincher. Sure, Gyllenhaal stumbled with Prince of Persia, but he seems to have learned a valuable lesson from that film. And I'm sure glad he has WME's Patrick Whitesell to guide his career, because he's been doing an incredible job of helping Jake make good choices. The truth is, we need more actors like Gyllenhaal who are willing to take risks. The guy shows no signs of slowing down. He just wrapped Antoine Fuqua's boxing movie, Southpaw, which was, written by Sons of Anarchy's Kurt Sutter and was originally developed for Eminem. He's working with Jean-Marc Vallée and Naomi Watts on this movie Demolition, which is not the sort of movie that can be, summarized in a neat little logline. But let me tell you, I saw this director's movie Wild last night with Reese Witherspoon, and the most impressive thing about it was its direction. It was really bold. I loved Dallas Buyers Club as well last year, so I can't wait to see what this director does with Gyllenhaal, who also co-stars in Balthazar Kormaker's Everest movie, which sounds like it could be epic. We haven't seen one of those mountain movies in a while, and Gyllenhaal leads one hell of a cast that also includes Josh Brolin, Jason Clarke, John Hawkes, Keira Knightley, and Robin Wright. Nightcrawler hits theaters today, and to sum up my thoughts, I just want to quote one of the lines from the movie: "It's amazing Just amazing. Before I go, I did want to thank Open Road for being kind enough to quote me in a recent TV spot. I haven't been quoted in an ad since the 2006 Ed Burns movie The Groomsman when I wrote for Ain't It Cool News. This has been What's the Deal with Jeff Snyder. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheInSnyder, and thanks for reading TheWrap.com. Happy Halloween, everyone.
What's the deal with Jeff Snyder?